Asia, between Southeastern Asia and Australia. They belonged to military. We had military interests there, and so did Great Britain. And actually, Great Britain declared war on Japan a couple hours before we did. And of course, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, at that time, we were neutral in the war, but during his speech, his famous words were, "This is a date which will live in infamy." So today in my geography class, we're going to talk about World War II, Pearl Harbor. Of course, they know where the islands of the Hawaiian Islands are, and they know Oahu is where Pearl Harbor is located. And Jody and I, years ago, went to Hawaii, and that was one of the first visits we went to was Pearl Harbor. And when you see that sunken ship, the Arizona, underwater, and you can still see oil leaking, and just think of, a lot of sailors were interred there. They were not able to recover their body.
Of course, most of them you caught them while they were asleep.
Right. And another thing I want to mention, I'm a Pike County Gideon, and one of the things that the Gideons do internationally, we try to get scriptures, throughout the world. And right before Pearl Harbor, it was agreed upon that they allowed to issue Bibles to the servicemen in Hawaii. And a lot of the servicemen, when they recovered their bodies, they had that Gideon Bible in their pocket. And that was one of the testimonies that we have. But anyway, it's December the 7th. It's Wednesday. We have a few days left till Christmas. And some good news out of Pike Liberal Arts. Yesterday, out of 25 JV teams across the state of Alabama, the JV team of Pike Liberal Arts finished runner-up. They started with 9 girls, 2 were injured, so they had 7 to perform. Their sponsor is Miss Katie Scott.
Yeah, that's the cheerleaders.
This is the cheerleaders. Yeah. So want to congratulate them. Also, the day before, Pike Liberal Arts won the 2A state championship, and their sponsors, Miss Hannah Hicks and Jordan, Charles Henderson cheerleaders.
We're talking about for the whole state.
For the whole state in 2A.
That is phenomenal. That's great.
In 5A, the Charles Henderson cheerleaders, they finished 5th out of about 23 teams. So congratulations to Miss Hillary Barron and Kaylin Bowley. Kylan Bowley, that's her assistant. And the Goshen cheerleaders, their sponsors, Sheila Ballard and Mallory Rhodes, they finished in the top 15 in 2A as well. And they'll have an invitation, the Goshen cheerleaders have an invitation to attend the Citrus Bowl. But I'm going to give you the state results real quick. In 1A, in the varsity, you have 2 competitions, either do varsity and game day, or you can do both. Yeah. Kinston is varsity's 1A champion. In 2A is section. In 3A, OP. In 4A is Brooks High School. 5A, Eufaula. 6A, Athens. And in 7A, James Clemens. And in the co-ed division, Sparkman was the state champion. But game day, here's the game day state champions. In Class 1A, Meek. In Class 2 is Kinston. No, Kinston finished 2nd in 1A. In 2A, Pike Liberal Arts, state champion. In 3A, OP. Yeah. In 4A, Andalusia. They keep it in Covington County.
Yeah, that's right.
5A, Eufaula. And in 6A, Buckhorn, and 7A, Austin. So congratulations to all.
I tell you what, the South Alabama really was well represented.
They did good. And but congratulations again to the Pike Liberal Arts cheerleaders, Miss Katie Scott and Hannah Hicks and Jordan for what they do. And we certainly want to thank Miss Barron at Charles Henderson and Ms. Lee, Hillary Barron Lee. She's a Lee now.
The unreal thing about Pike Liberal Arts winning the 2A is that prior to this year, they had won, I want to say 10 straight championships in the private school.
Yeah, I'm not real sure, but I could find that data for you.
It was phenomenal.
But Charles Henderson finished fifth, and congratulations to Hillary Barron Lee and Callan Bowley for the Charles Henderson cheerleaders. And Charles Henderson and Pike Liberal Arts will be going to the national championships. I believe it will be in February in Disney World.
Oh, boy,
Orlando.
that's quite a trip. Yeah, wonderful.
And some local action in basketball. The Goshen JV boys defeated New Brockton 31-26. The varsity girls defeated New Brockton 41-16. And the New Brockton and the varsity boys defeated New Brockton 50-37. So congratulations to those teams. And last night, but Enterprise defeated Highland Home. I've got that score.
Oh yeah,
somewhere.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, they beat them pretty soundly, and I have.
But Enterprise is the defending state champion.
Yeah, they don't mess around down there either. But let's see if I can find it.
But that was a good, big matchup because it was 1A. I want to say 1A. Are they 1A or 2A?
Highland Home's 2A.
All right, 2A against 7A. Yeah.
Or 6A. Were they 7 or 6?
No, Enterprise is 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here's some more scores here. Got Enterprise 70, Highland Home 43. You had Carroll 73, Ashford 46, Geneva County 60, George G.W. Long 36. Charles Henderson defeated Carver.
Oh boy, up there too.
Yeah, the boys. I didn't get a girl score, but the boys defeated Carver 77-70. Jaden Spearman scored 23 points. I believe he had 5 3-pointers. He's a big, tall drink of water.
Oh, he sure is.
Tyler Carlton scored 18 points. Jawan Boyd, never heard of his name.
No, I never have either.
We need to get him to play football.
I know.
Jawan Boyd, Jawan scored 14 points.
Oh yeah, okay.
Braylon Jones scored 13, and Austin Cross scored 9. The JV boys defeated Carver 49-48.
The girls won?
I didn't get the girls score. Ayrton.
That last score, though, that you gave?
That's JV.
Oh, okay.
JV boys.
All right.
The Charles Henderson JV boys 49, Carver 48.
I tell you, that was quite a trip up there, man, because Carver don't mess around like you were saying.
Yeah. And Ayrton 65, Red Level 61. And they had the Brunious Christmas parade last night. They had they had a wonderful event, and we had a singing jubilee at our school at Pike Liberal Arts. And I want to thank Tucker Park of the Park Band. He is unbelievably talented. And we had Perry Brown. Perry Brown is the son of Steve Brown, and I learned to paint from Buster and Sam. And I grew up with his uncle Bobby, but Perry is unbelievably talented. Lenny Trawick, Pruitt Vaughn. Pruitt's of course, everybody knows Lenny. Pruitt Vaughn is I believe he's a junior at Pike Liberal Arts, and he plays football, but he's a guitar player. And we had another young talent, Tyler Harrison, who's an 11th grader. He is another phenomenal singer.
Yeah. I tell you what, I hope you'll have a rerun of that before long. I'd like to go.
Troy Cable was there, and I don't know when they're going to put it together, but Austin Green did a wonderful job, and Miss Amanda Smothers and her daddy Mike Benton just speechless of how well they could sing, how talented they are. Plus, they're pretty good artists too. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're good artists.
And I tell you, congratulations to everybody that participated, and that's the event I want to make sure I don't miss next year. I've heard so many good things about it, about a lot of that talent in Parker. You know, right on this show when he was, I want to say he was in the 9th grade. He came in and his daddy told me that it was the first TV show he'd ever been on, and it's just as calm as he could be and talented.
He is good. Well, we had a Burlsworth Trophy finalist from Troy University. The Burlsworth Trophy is named in honor of Brandon Burlsworth, who played at Arkansas. It's for the #1 walk-on in the country. The winner was Georgia quarterback Stetson Bennett. Also honored at the banquet was linebacker Carlton Marshall of Troy University.
Oh, really?
And Purdue senior quarterback Aiden O'Connell. And that was at the Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art in Arkansas. But Stetson Bennett was named the recipient. And Burleson, he was a big old lineman for Arkansas. And he was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. And unfortunately, he was going to come home for one of the holidays, and accidentally he was killed in a car wreck before his rookie season. But the Burlsworth Trophy goes to Stetson Bennett of Georgia. And it's wonderful to be nominated for Carlton Marshall and Troy University, and for the quarterback at Purdue, Aiden O'Connell.
And Marshall played down in Mobile for what was the big 7-8 school down there.
You got Davidson. You got McGill Tulane.
McGill Tulane.
Okay.
He played at McGill Tulane and was I don't know if he was even a preferred walk-on. I think it just came on out, and now look at him.
Well, the National Coach of the Year. You know who the finalists are?
And we've got one that we know pretty
well.
John
Summerall is one of the finalists for the National Coaches Award, alongside TCU's Sonny Dykes, Duke's Mike Elko, Tulane's Willie Fritz, Michigan's Jim Harbaugh, University of Southern California's Lincoln Riley, Georgia's Kirby Smart, and the University of Texas San Antonio, the team we play, their coach Jeff Traylor. And the winner will be announced on December the 20th, and the award will be presented at a banquet in Los Angeles, California, on the 7th day of January.
So our guy gets to go to the banquet, doesn't he?
Well,
at least.
That's going to be the 7th on a Saturday. The national championship game is that next Monday night.
Well, that's great.
In California. So congratulations to those finalists and Coach Summerall. That's pretty neat to have a finalist.
And again, I want to thank and appreciate the Dothan Eagle. They covered Troy like nobody else. And what I'd like for you to do, ladies and gentlemen out there, if you get a pen and pencil and find the address of the Montgomery Advertiser, and say, where have you been and what are you doing not covering Troy like they should?
Well, we got somebody calling. The newspaper is becoming a lost art, Mike. It's going to become, you may have it once a week. Troy is down to twice a week, Wednesday and the weekend.
That's right.
And I'll give you an example. Good morning. Welcome to Today in L.A.
Lee Forrest, Will Matthews.
Hey, Will.
Forrest, Will Matthews.
Good morning.
How you doing, Will?
I'm doing good.
Cause are you already in the office?
Oh, yeah, just walked in and myself.
Well, I know when you walk in, you look at your daddy's picture or the portrait of your daddy, and it motivates you every day, doesn't it?
Well, he's all over the place. He started in 1956.
I know, and what I've heard so many stories, and a lot of people said, don't ever play this guy in a scramble or a
in a game of dominoes.
Yeah, well, that too. But at one time, he could play golf as good as anybody around, especially if he had a good partner.
He was the best putter I think I ever saw.
And that's saying a lot. You've seen a lot of putters, haven't you?
Yeah, we played it. He and I and the boy from Oberth played at Troy. Played in a 3-person scramble.
Was that Sammy? Was that Sammy?
No, it was Jim Gottschall. He's a younger
Yeah.
guy. He's probably in his early 50s.
Yeah. Is Sammy
But
still
anyway.
is Sammy still around? Why I've got him on my mind? Sammy Patton. Sammy Patton.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's a friend of mine, and he was a good golfer from Ozark.
great golfer, and he still plays.
Yeah.
Anyway, my daddy said, "I'm putting first. Y'all get out of the way." He had 17 straight 1-putt.
Oh gosh.
We birdied every single hole until he missed one on the last hole. He missed one on 18, but it was about 25 feet.
Oh boy.
And then I ran it in. We went 18 birdies the final round.
Y'all had a real relationship playing golf, and I mean he was your partner most of the time, and that's who you wanted. Is that right? You could have picked a lot of them, but in that kind of golf is.
I've told you this story before, but we were playing Detroit, and we almost got the fist fight.
Oh.
We were about, I don't know, we were 3 or 4 in the par. We were not doing very good. This was a 4-ball. And back then, number 1 and number 2 were par 5s at Troy. Now it's 10 and 11. But we were through 18, and we had to play 1, 2, and 3. And because we started on 4. And he said, "Son, we don't need to birdie these next 2 holes because we'd be in the bottom of the A division. We won't have a chance tomorrow." I said, "Well, let me tell you something. I don't do that. I'm gonna play as hard as I can play. Wherever we end up. He got mad as hell. Anyway, so he picked up 2 beers at the clubhouse and basically told me, "You finish these last 3 holes." He wasn't gonna do anything.
What is a 4-ball? What?
Well, you take the best score of each player on each hole.
Okay,
It's
so
not a scramble where you take the best shot, the best drive, and the best second shot, and putt. That's a lot easier.
so if 4 of you were playing, everybody plays their own ball.
Right.
I got you.
It's 2 people. You're right.
I got you.
Anyway, on number 1, I chipped it in for an eagle. Number 2 was a short par 5 over the big tree, and I knocked it up there about 2 feet for an eagle. So I go eagle on the par 3. I hit the pin about a foot from the hole. So I go eagle birdie, and we wind up, in the bottom part of the A division.
Yeah.
But the next day we won the tournament.
And that was something. That's something. Of course, a lot of memories, I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
with your dad, and that was one of them.
Well, did your daddy? Did he ever mention much about Pearl Harbor? How old was your daddy when Pearl Harbor hit? Was he just a teenager,
He
or?
would have been 11 years old.
I can imagine.
Really before his,
You
he was
know,
born in 31.
Okay.
I
I
tell
just didn't
you.
know if he had any stories about. Yeah, I can remember my mother was born in 35, and I've heard stories of how they had to, tighten up the belt, so to speak, and go without and improvise.
Oh, yeah.
Granddaddy had 3 girls at that time. And,
Well, my dad said they had plenty because his father was a farmer. So they always had food.
Yeah.
See?
Now
Chickens and cows and all
yeah.
that.
Of course, we've got the bowl picture still being talked about, and also, the playoffs are a hot topic today.
That and the transfer portal is
Yeah.
wide
Oh,
open.
yeah. Tell us something about that.
I know Alabama's lost 4 players. Auburn's lost several. The big article in the Dothan Eagle today, Coach Summerall is on the recruiting trail. Everybody's recruiting now, trying to get mainly transfers, I would guess. Transfers and some of the big players left on the high school high school dockets.
I want to mention
Or
that.
I would certainly I would want to transfer way before a high school kid.
Right, because of their
They can
maturity
instantly help you.
Oh, yeah.
right off the bat. And Auburn, Wesley McGriff is returning to Auburn's coaching staff. This is his 3rd time there. He spent last season as Louisville's co-defensive coordinator and secondary coach, so he's coming to Auburn to join Hugh Freeze and his staff, Wesley McGriff. And
And of course,
any more talk about the Louisville opening?
no.
Well, they're trying, as far as they're trying to get the Purdue coach to come to Louisville.
Right. And he played at Louisville.
He was quarterback at Louisville.
Yeah.
And the problem is Louisville pays about $2.5 million and Purdue pays $5 million.
That makes a pretty big difference, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he's not going to go back for less money.
Yeah. Of course, Troy in the last ratings of the year before the bowl games, that Troy is ranked 23rd in one poll and 24th in the other poll, and their opponent is 2024 and then 23. So
University of Texas, San Antonio.
yeah,
And both their coaches, John Sumrall and their coach, are up for Coach of the Year. And that'll be announced the 20th day of December. And your Heisman Trophy winners or attendees to the banquet have been announced. And I have that somewhere with me right here. It's going to be Georgia Stetson Bennett, TCU's Max Dugan, Ohio State C.J. Stroud, and University of Southern California's Caleb Williams are the 4 invitees to New York City for the Heisman Awards. You got any
Caleb Williams going to win.
for USC? Is he a quarterback or receiver?
Quarterback, all 4 of them
Quarterbacks.
well, now what was the kid from the quarterback with TCU?
Yes, Max Dugan.
Yeah, he's in there.
Max Dugan, C.J. Stroud, and Stetson Bennett.
I think it'll be Bennett probably deserves it. I mean, for what he's done in 2 years, and I would think he would be one of the front runners. And there are quite a few of them. The quarterback at Ohio State, will definitely get a lot of votes. It's going to be close. I think this one's going to be closer than most.
I think it will be too.
Want to mention this weekend, Coach Summerall will be back in town for a little gathering. Summerall will be in the arena prior to the Troy University's basketball game.
That's a doubleheader.
That's right, and the women play at 2 o'clock against Mercer. And Troy's men play Tennessee Tech. Pretty good basketball. Yeah.
Hey, Mike, that's great that Troy's in the top 25. But just think, had they won that game over at Appalachian State,
I know
they
it.
should have won. Didn't have that fluke play. They'd be 11-1, and they'd probably be close to the top 10.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
One game like that. But now, tell us a little bit about Troy's bowl game. Of course, coming up, and they'll be the first team to during the UAB will be the first team. They play at 10:30. This is on the
16th day of December.
yeah, that's right.
And that same day, the doubleheader of basketball, you can get in the arena for $5, and there will be the athletic staff will be on hand to help you purchase the Cure Bowl tickets. That will be in Orlando, Florida. The men's football team will be recognized at halftime, and the first 55 students in attendance will receive a voucher for a free ticket to the game, and an additional 25 free tickets will be raffled off for the Troy students in attendance.
Yeah, is
so
that
that's
for
this
that
Saturday.
game, or that's not part of the bowl game?
No,
though,
the
is
bowl
it?
game.
Okay.
They're giving away tickets,
Oh, okay.
and they're going to help fans purchase Cure Bowl tickets for Orlando. Of course, that's Friday week.
That's right.
That's Friday week.
And do you know what? On the same day, Troy University has graduation, and that's going to be tough on some people, but it goes on. Graduation goes on.
Right. And
Mike, let me tell you what's going to be good on Saturday. Army plays Navy at the last 1 point.
Yeah.
where will that be held? Is that going to be in?
Usually it's Philadelphia, but it might be in Baltimore. One of the two places. I think it's in Philadelphia this year.
Let me catch this other caller real quick. Hold on. Good morning. Welcome to Today in LA with Mike Amos and Forrest Lee. And we have Will Matthews on the phone. Who's calling?
Max Howell.
Hey, Max.
Hey, Max.
Howell.
Good to hear from you,
How's
my
everything
friend.
in Mississippi?
Yeah, it's been raining over here for about a week. I think we got another week coming. I'm feeling an arc outside my house.
Really, we're not getting that kind of rain.
They got us projected out over the next 10 days. Probably anywhere from 10 to 12 inches.
Yes, sir.
Of course, we haven't talked to you since Troy had won the Sun Belt Conference Championship. I know that pleased you very well for your alma mater.
It did. Yes, it did. Max, earlier, let's see, when it was last week, I was within 10 miles of your house. Oh, I wish you'd have called. I'd have had to. I didn't even think about it. And I went to Memphis to see my aunt. Right. And you went right through, you went right through Fulton on 42. That's right. And yeah. In fact, I got gas in Tupelo. After you cross the state line, we're the first community after that. You're near the Tom Bigby, aren't you? I live on the Tom Bigby. Yeah. Yeah, I do exactly. I didn't even think about it. Yeah. Now, when I came back on Thursday last week, and I left at 4 o'clock in the morning, so it was early when I went by there coming back by. I spent about 2 or 4 days with Thanksgiving over from South Carolina with my daughter. And, I went back, I left here with 22 to Birmingham, and then 20 went straight to Columbia. So I was gone. I was out of pocket for 3 or 4 days. But that's a 500-mile trip.
Oh boy, I know.
Well, Mr. Max, what about the Plains in Auburn? Who?
Well, anybody that's ever followed me very much no, I'm not a Detroit fan. Basically, I think that's what the football coach does. But I think as far as the image he presented or he left it on this, some other places, if you go back, check his track record, he's had allegations of all kinds, living against him everything he's ever seen. And, Auburn hired him, I think, so they wanted somebody that they beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Beat Alabama twice with his own Miss. And he'll coach very, very well. I just worry about the image that he leaves for the university.
Yeah.
Plus, they get Alabama at home this year.
And how much money are they giving Hugh to come to Auburn?
Isn't it 6.5?
$6.5 million.
Okay, so they saved money for a change.
Well, will the wheels continue to fall off at Texas A&M?
It sure looks like it to me. The word I'm getting out there, they trying to get the money up there, whether they complete that or not, or whether.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the buyout is ridiculous, or if I can pronounce that correctly, ridiculous. Tell them what his buyout is.
It's all in comparison to where you are and what you are.
Yeah.
If the demand was there when they hired him for that, then they would have paid it. And don't think $86 million is a big money number. If you recall, I think facts will bear this out. When they did the expansion on the stadium, they raised $400 million in 3 weeks by the telephone. They didn't
Golly.
put a guy on the street. So money's not the essence out there. It's of course they got other problems other than Jimbo. Boyd is an athletic director. He was the same athletic director at Ole Miss that hired you three. So they got the problem.
Yeah. But I think Auburn folks, and you like you said, he can coach football. I think they're excited about that part of it. And
Max, I heard this, and it's true because the guy that told me knows. Jimmy Sexton went out to College Station. He met with them, and they were trying to negotiate a buyout less than the $89 million or whatever they owe him.
86, yeah.
Whatever it is, it's way up there. And Sexton told, if you want him gone, you pay him.
Yeah, because he gets his commission out of that too.
Well, what'd you say, $86 million?
86.
That's for Jimbo.
Yeah.
People, and that would be horrendous if that happened.
Well, Jimmy Sexton gets $12 million of that.
Oh boy.
I think he's got 25 or 26 guys. Several of them approaching that level.
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing well. He jumped in at a good time. Hats off to him. I'm a capitalist, man.
Max, I was telling Mike and them this. Think about who he's got in the SEC. He's got almost a virtual lock on at least 10 coaches.
Very true. Very true. And what's scary about that, he represents the guy being fired and the new guy coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he represents you free,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know whether conflict of interest comes in. If it does, you would know more about that than I. But there's got to be somewhere in that line. It's a very thin line.
Well, it's called this in the law. You need to avoid the appearance of impropriety.
Right. That's a great point.
But see, Jimmy Sexton, he is a lawyer, but he's not really a lawyer. He's an agent.
But you mean by trade he's not a real lawyer?
He is a real lawyer, but he's let me tell you how he got his start. Because I asked him, I met him over at Ole Miss when my daughter was in law school at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm reading it now.
and I asked him, I said, how'd you get your start? Well, he was at Tennessee.
Yes.
And he got to be friends with Reggie White.
He was as a suite mate. That's where they lived together in the same dorm room.
Yeah, and Reggie was drafted way up high in the NFL draft. And all these agents were hounding him and all that. And he just told him, he said, hey, my man's right here. He's going. And he wasn't a lawyer or anything at that point.
Yeah.
But he later went to law school at UT. But he negotiated Reggie White's initial deal, and that's how he got into sports agency. And then he started practicing law in Memphis, and Memphis got the Grizzlies. You remember they were somewhere in Canada, I think, moved down to Memphis.
Right.
So he started doing basketball. And he was representing basketball players. And that's how he got started. I don't know when he got started with coaching. Probably 20 years ago.
Well, he turned it into a industry within itself. his firm concerned.
It says I'm sorry. It says,
No, I say he's moved up the ladder and obviously been very successful. And evidently, most people have been pleased with it.
and what I'm reading, he's, go ahead.
No, I just said the fees, I think, are 2, 3, 4%.
Yeah,
Wow.
he goes,
If you,
Matt, he goes
Yeah.
3 SEC games every Saturday.
wow.
He starts with the 11 o'clock games, then he goes to the 2:30 games, then he goes to the night game. And he's got a private jet, and he flies to each one every Saturday.
Yep, I'm reading, he represents 11 of the 14 Southeastern Conference head coaches and 7 head coaches in the National Football
Isn't
League.
that amazing?
His company does, 11 of 14. He's listed as Forbes' most powerful sports agents in 2015, 18, 19, and 20. And,
Yeah.
so,
And I can remember going to a game at Tennessee and tailgating with his father. Yeah, that sounds like his father wouldn't be tailgating with me. Now this was long, quite a few years ago.
he's 59 years old.
Great guy, too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, personality plays a lot, really there. How you get along, doing it. I'll be honest with you, I've heard very little negative about him other than the fact that just, he's an agent and he's there to do the best he can for his client. And best I remember, that's what attorney's supposed to do. So that's all to him.
Are they playing high school championships in Mississippi, or has that been completed?
That's over with.
It finished this past week. Yeah.
Somebody told me, is Alabama looking to go to 8 classifications? Have y'all heard that?
No, I haven't heard it.
It seemed like I heard a discussion about it, but I don't think it's got any.
Right now, they don't have enough in 7A.
This next year for the 7.
Wow. Georgia's at 7. And, like I
I
said,
think the biggest story in high school football was the kid at Clemson, the eighth grade with the state championship.
Yeah.
and
It was the most. It's the most outstanding player on top of that. He gave the trophy away, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, gave it to the side. He's an 8th grader. He gave it to his wide receiver to call for him.
yeah, that's the same. And that receiver is the same kid who blocked a punt 2 years ago against Auburn when they were down by several points with about 20 seconds left to come back and win the game. About 30 seconds left. Down by 2 scores.
So far, so good. I mentioned that twice. Is that they haven't done it in high school sports yet? What I'm saying, a player leaving early in high school. So far.
I didn't know. I didn't be honest with you. I didn't know the rules. I thought the rule was 9th grade up. I didn't know it was 8th grade. I mean, that kid's he don't even go to Compton High School. He goes to the middle school.
But now, could he jump that far though in a like being recruited by a college coach?
Well, they can talk to him, but they'll have to use the same rules.
Yeah, if you're in the 7th grade and above, you can play varsity sports.
Yeah.
I don't know where you heard the story on how he got to Birmingham was. His family was close friends with the two of us that played at Alabama.
Yeah.
And, he's actually from Hawaii. And that's the way they got over.
So this kid's actually from Hawaii.
The Coach Freeman at Thompson High School obviously had the tools at Thompson High. And that's the way the connection came for him to come to Birmingham. And how he got over here, and all the details that go with that, maybe never done.
Now, somebody says he plays in the marching band too. Is that right?
I don't know about that, but he does play the saxophone. He does play the saxophone. I don't know if he's in the marching band, but there was a statement on it about being able to do it.
I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, the first thing I asked was, I'd like to see his birth certificate. Kids Because about 6 feet tall, 180 pounds.
All right, Max, you understand this more than I do, but I've heard it so many times. Did he have any spin on the ball? You know, everybody looks at a high school kid coming out, and the first thing that a college recruiter's going to say, does he have spin on the ball?
I haven't seen him play or practice, but I got to believe that he started at the 7A high school for the state championship.
He's got spin on the ball.
He's got all the physical. He beat out a senior that had already had 3 or 4 scholarship offers, by the way.
Oh boy, that is amazing.
Yep.
But y'all cleared that question I had in my mind about kids. How early can they drop out and start playing college ball?
Well, they got to have a high school diploma first.
Yeah, that's right.
Mike, a lot of them go to college. They graduate like in December and they go straight to college.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that, but you know they're usually a junior or senior though. Wouldn't you say, or senior to be?
Yeah.
They do it their senior year.
Yeah.
See, but those academics, you know, those kids could go. They could take summer courses. And they could accelerate their graduation date. You know, probably by a year or two. But I don't think they can accelerate it 4 years.
Yeah.
Mike, the kid from Ozark that played in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Carmelo, somebody. He makes straight A's.
Well, that's good. That is great. Oh man. Yeah.
That's Carmelo Overton,
Yeah.
defensive
I
end
hear he
linebacker.
went to Florida.
Now, when will that game be?
It's going to be this Saturday. The Alabama-Mississippi All-Star Game will be held at South Alabama's Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile this Saturday, December the 10th. The head coach at Auburn, Keith Etheridge, is the head coach for the state of Alabama.
And the Senior Bowl is going to be coming up in late January, or when will it be? The Senior Bowl
I don't
from
have that
Mobile.
in front of me.
It's always right before the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Usually there's a Saturday in between the last conference finals and the Super Bowl, and that's when they play.
Yeah.
Coach, is there any speculation about the coach at Mississippi State that he may retire?
So it's a lot of talk right there, Clark. Mike Leach, you know, he walked to the tutor.
Oh, he does.
Different drummer. You know, he's got a law degree. I will say he's got a university for PhD. It's something I don't know, but he teaches a couple of classes at the university in addition to being a football coach.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what he's leading. Of course, they play Iowa in the bowl game this year. Brett Bielema probably know about as much about it about the obviously in Arkansas. So I think that'll be a pretty good ball game. You know, that system that he uses, if you analyze that, and the games that they lose, coaching staff has done a really good job on how to defend that passing game. Rarely do they throw the ball more than 15 yards down the field. 90% of the passes are usually 10 yards or less. It's a system. The Rogers kid, you know, he's a system quarterback. He gets frustrated when he gets flushed. Out of the pocket, he has to move the ball. So I think Mike usually has a good run in 4 or 5 years, 20 years, and it's time for him to move. He takes a stick in Washington State before he got here. But he's not a very personable guy, so I understand. Now, of course, the athletic director's already gone. That's already been, so we'll see how. If the rumor is, yes, to answer your question, the new athletic director will have full control over what happens with the football program.
Yeah.
And Max, they've got a new AD at Mississippi State, I think.
They had
Or
to
they're fixing to hire one, and I'm sure
right.
when they hire one, he might want to get his own person or whatever.
Absolutely. That's what they do. You know that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a concern, with Mike and his, his staff. mean, that's, he can come out there and beat you to death with short pass all day, but if you control that short passing game, you're going to beat him. Because they, in a system like that, guys, they got to spend all the practice time perfecting the passing game. That's why they don't. They did play a little better defense this year. They kind of had his running game, but this is his third year. But the first 2 years he's there, 95% of the time is spent on that short passing game. That's what frustrates a lot of coaches, because they don't have to defend the kid against them every Saturday.
What kind of money is he making now?
He makes
$5 million.
Five. I think it's five, right?
I think he's overrated.
They play Illinois in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium at 11 o'clock Monday, January the 2nd in the Relia Quest Bowl.
Right.
Relia Quest Bowl.
And Max, have you looked at some of these bowl games? Say Troy's bowl game against Texas San Antonio. Texas San Antonio, they're a football school, aren't they?
Well, that's a spin-off like what we play 6A and I.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the same concept they have out there. They're going to take up, they're going to pick up the kids in Texas and Texas A&M and yeah. A lot of those kids will stay close to home. They do, most of those guys do a pretty good job.
I tell you what, if you recruited 50 miles around San Antonio, you'd get some players, wouldn't you?
No doubt. Yeah.
Troy's a 1-point favorite in that game.
All right, I was wondering about
that's
that.
That's a pickup game.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know anything about the schedule. I don't know, I don't even know what the win-loss record was.
Hey, Coach.
They were 11-1, 11 or 12-1, I think.
Both of them are 11-2.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Coach, who do you favor right now to be the national champion of the 4 finalists?
I don't think it's the one team out there is Georgia. I haven't seen anybody else. Michigan stepped up. I played a little bit better. They passed the game for a week. They got a good running game, but that's Georgia's strength. So I like Georgia in that one. I think they'll probably go into that game. They'll beat Ohio State. That's what line I think is 7.5 there. They'll go in about a 7-point favorite, I think, against Michigan as well.
Way I look at that game is the quarterback's not going to even have time to get it to drop back.
I don't wait. You watch that game against LSU or not. But my favorite of all time picture. Saul Phelps was a good friend of mine in the SID in Georgia, and I've already taken him. I want a blown up shot of where the Carter kid, big nose tackle, had picked up the quarterback and put him under his arm.
He just held him up there.
Yeah.
Held him up in there.
Oh.
That's the greatest picture I've ever seen.
They're probably the most intimidating football team that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, well, Kirby did a good job recruiting. I don't think anybody could, deny that. And I think Bennett fit what he looked for in his quarterback.
Well, let's go to that topic. On the Heisman Trophy, what do you think?
He's number 4. I don't think the committee wants to give it to him, but I don't know where you saw the rest of those guys play or not. But the guy at Southern Cal certainly did not impress me at all. I've never seen a quarterback come out after a rush. He drew it backwards. I mean, he threw so fast 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Most guys try to stay lateral on the line of scrimmage so they get out of bounds and throw it out of bounds. That kid threw it backwards and tried to throw it 50 yards down the field for a 10-yard gain. I don't know what they see in that, but he's a leading candidate, so I've read.
I think he's going to win it.
Well,
He probably will.
I tell you what, though, this kid coming up since the running back from Wisconsin, or was he from Ohio State? Little running back, one back to back.
Archie Griffin.
Yeah, Archie Griffin. Was he from Ohio State?
Archie Griffin wore number 45.
Yeah. But it just seems like if you win 2 national championships, and you ought to get it.
Well, you got Stetson Bennett, TCU's Max Dugan, Ohio State C.J. Stroud, and Southern Cal's Caleb Williams. And one thing about Ohio State, their offensive coordinator, Kevin Wilson, is going to be the next head coach at Tulsa. And you're wondering, will Corey Dennis move up
Yeah.
the ladder a little bit for
And,
Ohio State?
and for you out there that
he's
don't know
quarterback's
Corey Dennis, he played his high school ball at Charles Henderson High School, and then went to Georgia Tech and played 4 years. Married into
Urban Meyer's daughter.
into a pretty good football family, Urban Meyer, and
you end up coaching at Ohio State.
He's a quarterback coach, and his firstborn was named Troy.
That's right. And now you know
The rest of the story.
Well, what about the quarterback situation at Alabama?
Well,
Would you have him throwing every day?
Well, you know, the underlying word out there, the Price probably won't play in the bowl game. They did still answer the bowl, but
No, there's-
just the bowl. I don't know whether it's true or not.
They're going to have 10 or 15 players not playing the bowl game.
Right. Well, I just saw an interview yesterday with Coach Saban said, hey, he's encouraging the players to make their own decision on that.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's no way Bryce Young and Will Anderson are going to play, and there's several others too that aren't going to play.
Right. Well, they got to be, I still go back to all this the things that go back by the kids for the money that they're making on the side, and the deal is with the 1 year scholarship came into play by the NCAA. That the kids said, hey, if the coaches can cut me loose after 1 year, then, I'm going to take my decision on move on. It changed the whole complexion of the college game as far as the season is concerned. And I think if those scholarships read at the end of the season, at the end of the regular season, when they got the bowl game, I've not heard where that was included, and probably not. It's just like a contract with the labor union. I mean, when that contract's up, they're free agents. So, we'd like it or not like it, but there's no such thing as it's a big time business guy.
Max, I can tell you exactly when this one year scholarship crap started. I was at Vandy, and I had a 4-year deal at Vandy.
Right.
And I was a senior. Well, the 1 year deals came in, and we had an athletic director come in, and I can't remember his name. Anyway, he did away with the minor sports scholarships, and all the guys on my team that were sophomores and freshmen, and there was maybe one junior, they cut them all off. They said, that's it. So they decimated our golf program in one fell swoop.
Mm.
And I was my senior year at Vanderbilt, I was the only scholarship player. We went from contending every year, came in second to Florida 1 year, and Florida won the national championship, to last place in the SEC out of 10 teams.
Well,
I mean, they just ripped us and never,
Well, tomorrow on the show we have Randy Keck. He's the women's golf coach at Troy University. He's going to bring 2 of his senior golfers. But in other news, for Charles Henderson, Coach Quinn Hambright has been named the 5A Alabama Coaches Association Coach of the Year. So congratulations to Quinn Hambright for that award. Other coaches in 1A, Meeks, Houston Powell, and 2A, BB Comer's Adam Fawcett. Jimmy Perry from St. James is 3A Coach of the Year. Andalusia's Trent Thomas, 4A Coach of the Year. Decatur's Jerry Adcock, 6A Coach of the Year. And Mary Montgomery's Coach Zach Golson out of Mobile. He's the 7A Coach of the Year. There will be a banquet in January at the Embassy Suites Hotel in Montgomery on the 28th.
And I'd love to have tickets for that. That's wonderful. Trent is from Andalusia. Is Trent Taylor? You mentioned
Trent Taylor?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be at.
I think he said Thomas. Yes.
Okay, Trent Taylor, but he used to be at Strom, but now he's at Andalusia.
That's right, and played actually on on those great Andalusia teams. He was their quarterback.
Okay.
Mike, you ought to get up and crowd from Troy and go up there.
I think we will. I know I would like to go, and he's a class act. I'm sure you've seen that the way he acts on TV.
That's going to be on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Hey, and I would like to say this. Everybody was saying, "Oh gosh, you know, is the quarterback McCall gonna play? Is the quarterback McCall gonna play?" Well, yeah, he did. He played, but it wasn't enough. McCall did play in the game quite a bit and was responsible for 2, maybe 3 touchdowns. But hey, our man Gunnar Watson looked pretty good himself, didn't he?
Well, Mr. Max, anything you got going on the rest of the week, upcoming?
Nah, I'm just, we kind of winded down.
Yeah.
For my business situation, we kind of winded down for the holidays.
Well, Max, let me intervene right here. When are you going to tell us what's for dinner?
Well, you know, we had planned our Christmas. I'm going to a birthday dinner tonight, and we cooked what we call tomahawk steaks. I don't know whether you had one of those or not, but it's a bone-in ribeye. The meat's about 2 inches thick, but the bone sticks out from one end to the other is about 12 inches.
Oh boy! And y'all pick it up with 2 hands. Y'all pick it up with 2 hands and eat. Is that right? 2 hands and eat.
They run about $2 and $4 a pound.
Oh God!
I'm a pork chop gnawer and a ribeye in the bone raw.
Yeah,
I'll
I am
pick it up
too.
and gnaw it.
We're going to cook. I'm going to probably cook those tonight for a friend of mine up here for a birthday. We'll just have to stand it. We'll have baked potatoes. I got guys that like sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes today, and I'll do both of those. And we'll do probably some kind of coleslaw or salad they'll go with it, maybe just a regular house salad. And they'll always, but my honey group, that's going to be about 10 or 12 of these guys, the group that hunts up here, you know, they'll always, this time of year, it's cold, it's raining, we're going to do it on the river. Open space.
So it won't be any. I want to let our audience know there won't be any squirrel now on your list. Is that right?
Well, I tell you about the squirrel dress for Thanksgiving.
No,
We got to close.
Oh, listen, my buddies, I told y'all the story. My buddies went to the Delta.
Yeah.
It was 10 of them went over there. The Livingston state of Alabama, Mississippi, is 8 squirrels a day per licensed hunter. They brought back 160 squirrels.
Oh gosh!
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to close the show, Max.
Hey, Max, you'll call us next week, won't you?
I'll give it to you. I'll get you next week. Give you
Well,
the rest.
thank
All
you
right,
for calling.
brother.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you bright and early in the morning for today. In our life.
Congratulations to Coach Quinn Hambrecht.
We'll see you in the morning.